Hi guys, it's me, Jizzle Machine again, and for this video that will be dedicated to the Avatar's Last Airbender vlogs, I will be covering episode 16 of season 1 of the starring show, and the episode's name is The Deserter. Now, even though this episode deals with firebending and it has the introduction of the great legendary and powerful John, if I'm pronouncing that right, which by himself is a nice little homage to the character of Kurtz in Apocalypse Now. This is still in the quadrant of waterbending, even though it's fire. I guess you could say that because Katara learned about another ability that she has besides actual moving between the actual bending of water and moving of water and ice and all that. This has more of an interesting spin on what the more specialized water bending is like. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Same with that John Young and his fire bending teaching to Aang and his philosophy and stuff. But you know, this episode not only is one of my personal favorites for the action involved and the other stuff involved, the flashy colors of things, but it's also one of my favorites for John and the philosophy of firebending, as well as some of the more peacetime culture of the Fire Nation. Because you know we always associate the Fire Nation with war and nationalistic pride and all that stuff, like we did with Japan during that World War II era, and a little bit before that. But yeah, this shows a very different side of the Fire Nation as well. So it's one of my personal favorites for all that. And plus, we also when we get introduced to John, he's also got more of a little bit of backstory about PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, which is kind of a new type of thing for this show, and it's a good introduction for children for that too, because in this show we see that the Fire Nation is more of a militaristic operation in more concerned with nation building and instilling pride in the nation to its citizenry. But we're also told that the military officers love their station in life. They love to conquer weaker areas of the world. But John Young really does encapsulate the people that don't want to have to do it, that serve their time in the army or in the navy or wherever, and they don't want to do it anymore. They just want to live their life by themselves, almost like a hermit. Hence the Apocalypse Now references. Oh, I'll get into all of the yarn. But for right now, we go about the King Avatar's hunger for food, because he might be the most powerful Avatar bender in the world at this point. but he still got he still eat, So yeah, they decided to go to this fire festival in the local area where they are, and they can go in the regular guide because if they do, they'll be hunted and probably pursued like animals until they're jailed and imprisoned. So they have to don disguises. Now the thing is that next to the poster for the fire festival, they have a wanted poster for all three Avatar members. Katara, Aang, and Sokka. And I want to ask you guys if you know of any type of real life equivalent to the fire festival in Japanese culture, because we know at this point that the Fire Nation is based on Japanese culture. So I wonder if there's a real festival dedicated to them in a similar fashion to this. So anyway, they go into the party, the festival. I'm assuming it's like it's around the whole Fire Nation that they celebrate this one thing, and that it's on that one day that everywhere they celebrate the Fire Festival, which obviously is a celebration of fire and heat and warmth. So anyway, they have there's Sokka over there trying new fire flakes, which you get like cornflakes but with fire on them, and they're really spicy. Even though there's no money exchange either. So I don't get how that works out. Maybe it's free food for all the party goers and festival goers. So anyway, they have all that, and even Katara says, you would assume that fireflies would equal spicy foods, but whatever. So they get interested in this one crowded area where this magician guy is firebending, and one of the main premises of this whole thing was that Aang has to learn firebending at one point or another, so he has to try to rush it because he lacks patience and skills to learn the other two bending arts, water and earth. Because at this point, he's kind of learning a lot from water bending, but it's not really the best thing for him. And earth is still like a foreign concept to Aang at this point in the game. So when to Russia has to learn firebending, and to do that he has to learn by watching, because everyone wants him dead or imprisoned. Same for his friends too. So anyway, they all go to watch firebending perform, and he uses a move called taming the dragon. And who said that it's only Disney that hides like subliminal sexual messages in their cartoons and such? I can think of a few instances where Avatar does that, but whatever. to angry wanted to do this because he wanted to learn from by observation, as to what firebending is all about. Because in the Russian, it's so cool and he thinks it's really easy to learn how to get fire at the three fingers or whatever part of your body or whatever. So the performer picks Star from the bunch, with her mask on, and it's real funny because she puts on the mask of a happy man on Aang, and then she puts the sad face of a sad man on Sokka. No indication as to why. So during this whole thing, the guy firebends the dragon, like a fire dragon, to try to intimidate everybody and scare her and stuff. And also he has like a fire rope they use to tame the dragon. So then he tries to attack her, and it's all part of the show, baby. Even though Aang doesn't realize it, but he stops him using his air powers to where the crowd turns on him. And it's funny that the previous person that they'd seen, they had like a puppet show where they were indoctrinating little children that the fire lord is the good guy and everyone else is like a backstabbing, dishonorable vendors and stuff, and that we all gotta be afraid of them, and that the fire lord's there to protect us and honor us and that kind of thing. So that was a cool piece of indoctrination for Luke to understand. So anyway, all throughout this whole thing with Fire Festival, they show Aang and the others being shadowed by this guy in a cloak, and he looks. I thought that he would be Jet from a few episodes in the past, and but it wasn't him. It was the guy that would lead the others to John Rock. So they end up going to Appa for help, and he flags them away while they're being hidden by fireworks and all that in the sky. So they go away to young little camp up a big river, but by the Mekong River, and it really does resemble the camp that you see in Apocalypse Now. Only, of course, being a kid show, they wouldn't have like heads, but they wouldn't have blood and all that stuff. But they do have guys with big spears, and I guess you could call it jungle camouflage, which is like pretty fun. It's more like camp setup for little kids, which is actually pretty good. I wouldn't pick it up myself if I didn't see the original 79 movie that came out, and the full direct cut, I guess you could call it. So anyway, and it's like one of them firebending, one fire bolts from my arms, and I want to know how to shoot defend against the Fire Nation and whatnot. So they say that also another link they have to Colonel Kurtz from the Apocalypse Now movie is that the little guy said that he's a genius, and then he's, I think, a general, and he's really smart and stuff. So like in the Apocalypse movie, only that guy was a colonel. This guy was a general. Maybe I know a high ranking something about this. So and goes to this guy, and and just by design alone, Young looks like a short hair version of Jiraiya from the Naruto series, and he's really cool. But again, he's very hesitant in his aim because he doesn't have patience or discipline. Two very important things to learn about when doing fire. Because I didn't realize this, but fire is the most destructive element of all four: earth, water, and fire. It's a living thing, pretty much, and that if you don't have discipline with the will to control it, you can easily decimate anything, and it can burn what you love. In this case, there'll be little, because later on, Aang will lose his patience and start playing around with the fire and stuff, and he'll burn his precious Katara in the hands, and then which forces Sakura to lose his temper with him again. I mean, the first time it was about to win the map and his father stuff. So I don't get why Sakura always loses his temper with Aang all the time. And so like, whoop, you hit him once, he loses the temper. Boom, you do it one another time, he loses the temper. And then whoop, you just one more thing it happens and loses temper. Although burning your sister's hands is actually kind of a more serious threat than a father losing the potential to see a father again. In my mind. So yeah, he's originally very hesitant in doing it, and he doesn't want to teach him anything because he didn't learn the discipline and that's necessary for learning how to bend the other two elements properly, which makes a lot of sense. It really ties back to this whole circle of the Avatar cycle. He's an airbender at the start, so he knows how to do that. He mastered that pretty well. Then he got master water, because living in it, and it's smooth and it's healing. But then he got fire, then he got earth, which is stable and steady. And then you got fire, which is live and destructive and painful in some cases. So that's a very cool philosophy in this whole thing. And you have to learn discipline and you have to learn self-control and all that stuff. Something in which Zhao, his apprentice, didn't learn properly, as we will see later on in the show, in the episode. So the thing is that with this this whole thing about philosophy, about controlling yourself and all that will be kind of thrown away when Korra gets into play, because she's the next step in the cycle. She taught out the water better, and she got to learn earth, and then fire, which we don't actually see or learn any of those other elements. But then she got to learn air. So I don't get how how the discipline thing comes into play with air. But I'll get into that when I get into that part. So, Young origins is known to Annie, but he's too immature and too unstable to learn the element of fire. Because again, it's painful and destructive and a lot of life and stuff. But the way he does it is kind of like, he's surrounded by candles. And then when he erupts in a temper, he erupts like the scene from the Wizard of Oz. And the wizard and the great and powerful Oz is over there, and then he blows up the pillars of fire. So that's kind of something nice. Nice little homage there too. It's like an homage. So anyway, he goes into his Roku avatar and did that. I learned the element 1,000 times before, and I can learn 1,000 times now. Teach the avatar, teach Aang how to bend fire. Or else I'll come get you in your dreams. And they said, yes, all the time, Roku. I love the way you say. Now, because this guy is the only firebender that's friendly to the Avatar so far, besides the priest, he's the only master class that can do it. So, Aang really needs him right now to learn firebending. So he teaches them how to bend fire. But first, you gotta be patient, meditate, breathe properly, and get the proper stance. So, unfortunately, young Aang at 12 years old doesn't know how to do patience that well. And he eventually gets pissed off and stuff like that. So then John is like, I can't teach you. So then he says, I'm sorry, I'll do better next time. I will not lose my patience. Until he does. Until he loses patience and starts playing around with the fire. And then he gives it a leaf to make sure that he doesn't burn the edges of it. He makes fire from it. But then he's playing around with the fireball. And he's always, Jordan even says, look over there, see that oak over there? He knows how to sharp concentrate on what he's doing. So, when Aang is being taught, Sokka can catch a break. Sokka's always being picked on by somebody. So, Aang is like, okay, oh, look at this, look at this great fireball I just made. Let me see if I can play around with it. So he starts juggling it around like that firebender at the festival. And doing tricks with it, and then loses control of it. And it makes a big fire spin attack. I mean, literally a fire spin attack. And it gets so big and so massive that it ends up burning Katara out of control. So that's what the juggling meant by you have to have control over the fire. So she ends up crying. I mean, she's really bawling it out. Not like, oh, you scratched me. I hate you forever. No, this time she's really hurt. And Sokka can see that she's really hurt. So she's like, look what you did, Aang. Look what you did. I'm sorry, I did that. And yet, Aang really is sorry because this is the first time they do firebending, so it's kind of understandable, but kind of not, because you should be more patient, especially when you see that all the fire and all the damage that Zuko and Zara had done in the past. You should be a little more careful with it. So no need, like, I won't firebend again. Switch guitars. You have to learn it eventually. And don't worry, I kill myself. So it turns out that she puts her hand in the water cold off. But it turns out that she can actually heal herself. And apparently after one try, she can heal Aang, she can heal everybody else. Except for some reason Zuko wears a facial scar. So anyway, they have her learning a new ability, a specialized ability for waterbending. The other one being bloodbending, but we won't get into it till later on. I think in the last season, I believe, when they go into the Fire Nation proper. So Jung says to her that that he wishes he had the ability to waterbend, because it involves healing in life, where he viewed firebending as a curse because he's a pacifist now. Because during the war he fought, it's implied that he was exposed to extreme death, and probably that's why he got his face scars. So you don't want to use firebending for bad purposes anymore. I would think that'd be something cool, like, hey baby, you want me to get the light for you? But yeah, he does he thinks of it only as a curse that will be destruction and pain and death, which is fair enough. And it's nice to see a Fire Nation soldier or ex-soldier, because he was a deserter after all, that likes peace, besides Uncle Iroh. And it would just happen later on in the show. Zhong and Iroh are members of the White Lotus, not the new TV show, but the series of powerful benders and swordsmen whose goal when they come together is the liberation of a Bossing Say. I'll get more into it when the episode comes in. They kick ass. I'm excited. Good. So anyway, they have John prays to Katara. She heals herself, and and gets a little bit goofy. But then they have General Zhao come in, or Admiral Zhao come in, and he's hunting on the Avatar. That's where Zuko and Zhao different, because Zhao is like pure evil. He wants to destroy the Avatar, bring him to the Fire Lord, and have him do whatever he wants for them. Just like Zuko, but Zuko has his uncle that influence him and make him into a better person, not so vengeful, and helping on capturing the Avatar. He wants to do it, but he wants to do it more in a humane way, if you will. maybe the difference, maybe because of the kindred spirit he has to the Avatar. That's one thing that he wants to do. Whereas Zaz just wanted to be rule and he wanted to be impatient and all that other stuff. Whereas Zuko was going after the Avatar for many years. And in any case, Zaz blows up in ships. I think the 3 ships, Nina, the Pinta, South Maria. So he tried to solve shit with Zandon. And Zandon even told him that his former trainee was too impulsive. He didn't have any self-control. But when he fought it, but he ended up running away from when Zhao was trying to fight him. I tend to think that if there was a fight between the two of them, that what's his name, Zhang would literally live with ass. But that's still a hand there. So anyway, I think that he put up a nice little firewall to prevent Zhao from getting to the Avatar on him away, and then he disappeared from Zhao. And when Aang went back to confront Zhao, he ended up shooting wildfire, like wildly, like a fireball here, a fireball there, but he couldn't actually hit the Avatar. And Aang actually picked up on this because he had no good self-control. He had no guidance, no discipline, less discipline than he would like to have. So he kept missing the Avatar and getting everything else in the process of the big forest. So the Avatar actually picked up on this, and then he ended up using Zhao's inaccuracy and hot-headedness, for lack of a bad term, to use that against him by having him destroy his own ships and slow him down. Which is actually a really smart move, really brilliant move, because superior firepower is the way to do it as one of them. And yeah, he does end up fooling the guy, him destroy his ships, and then he goes, Aang, I'll get you for this next time. I'll get you next time. So anyway, he doesn't next time. He destroyed some ships further. And I don't think that there's any more of his melody that all probably either ran away or died. So anyway, you see that all of them all run away. And that's all because he doesn't have Zhang anymore. He doesn't have Aang anymore. There's no anybody else anymore that likes him. So they show Appa carrying the 3 guys from Team Avatar away, and Kadar ends up healing Aang with his healing ability, and everything is all happy and stuff. And what happens is but where's Young? And then you cut back to the village, the encampment, and that one scout guy, Che, and he's like, where'd you guys go? I want you guys to come and take me along with you guys. Come on, I'm gonna go with you guys. So John let desert the guy, and then he desert the firewood again. And it was kind of doubled under there. So yeah, I like this episode. I like it a lot. It's one of my personal favorites. Because of the philosophy of firebending, that you need patience, indulgence, you need to control yourself, breathing, you need to control. You need a lot more discipline than say water bending, earth bending, or even air bending. Yeah, it was really exciting to see this episode again, talk about it. And I thank you for watching one of my favorite videos, one of my favorite episodes of all time. I mean the video I'm talking about one of my favorite episodes of all time. That'd be Chapter 16 of Book 1 of this famous show called The Deserter, which introduces John Gunn, a firebending master. It's also a parody of Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now. A very great movie too. In its own right. And I really do like this episode because it introduced so many things to the Avatar universe. Like Katara's healing, the fact that John has PTSD from too much war, conflict, and just being on the wrong side of history. Having Jared as the apprentice or trainee, and him lacking patience and discipline and self-control they tried to influence and to have and become a bad person because of it. And that's pretty cool. To make this episode happy face with seal approval. Because it truly is awesome. I like when you have, Zhao self-destructing pretty much and destroy his own means of capturing the Avatar. When the Avatar is free and he gets healed by Katara and all that. So it's really good. Even though Zhao calls him a coward and stuff. Yeah, I like this episode a lot. If you like what you hear, and want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also give me any future ideas for my content by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you want, you can always follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PNelsonPro. Also, get my email address at JJ's viewing channel at gmail.com. So, I salute all you Avatar fans, all you Korra fans out there, losing the Korra, and, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video, all you girls like guys in Angeland. I'll see you in the next video. Sayonara and aloha.